The FIFA game series is huge and bigger than ever, easily beating last year's UK sales records. Every football fan is playing this game, but that doesn't mean there aren't some issues and some things that can drive you nuts while playing this game. Think of this as a list of grievances and constructive criticism. We're here to bring you 10 things FIFA 17 players hate. Starting off at number 10, this isn't exactly exclusive to FIFA 17, but it's still annoying regardless, the act of scoring an own goal and feeling like a complete idiot for doing so.
Yes.
Look, an own goal is a thing, it happens, and sometimes it can completely be your fault. But sometimes it can happen by mistake as a result of the game mechanics. This is definitely the worst when you're leading a game by one goal, and then the stupid AI goes and concedes an own goal. I know this is at number 10, but this might be one of the most rage-inducing things on this list. Cause sure, hitting the wrong button and making that mistake yourself is one thing, but when the AI does it and you have no control whatsoever, and that AI happens to be your teammate, ugh! And at number 9, some people can chalk this up to being in every single sports game ever, but when referees make the wrong call, holy shit, that is the worst.
Hey, it's a disgrace!
And I think in FIFA 17 in particular, it can be pretty damn extreme sometimes. The refs in FIFA 17 so often make the wrong calls, and they're giving fouls against you when you don't even touch the opponent. Like, you can slow it down and look at the replay and see no contact whatsoever. What the hell? And it even happens sometimes when you don't even attempt to make a foul. Sometimes, and what's really annoying, and I've seen it happen far too often, is when it's clearly a foul against you, the ref will hit you with a foul. What the hell, refs, do your job. I know you're not real refs, I know you're video game refs, but still, don't you have eyes? It's unfortunate the game's AI doesn't have a group of people watching instant replays to help really back up the decisions made by the refs, but hey, that's something we have to live with. And at number 8, here's something that definitely drives players nuts, and that's playing in stadiums with shadows. Now look, this sounds like a superficial complaint, but if you've played the game, you know that it's objectively harder to play. It can mess with your eyes and make it hard to see. San Siro is definitely the biggest culprit here. This hasn't been fixed, and it often makes day games a real annoyance. Fun fact, if you want to avoid having a bad time with any of the stadiums that do have bad shadows, make sure the weather is set to overcast. And you'll thank me later, it's definitely ideal playing conditions, at least for your own visibility. And at number 7, something that can definitely annoy people is the injury system. The injury system can give you a stupid injury far often than not that doesn't even make any sense. FIFA 17 in particular has been heavily criticized for its injury system and how unfairly punishing and frequent it is. The amount of injuries you can deal with in a single game is sometimes ridiculous and honestly unrealistic. Not only that, but I've also seen certain instances of players just falling down and getting hurt when they're not even doing anything. They might completely finish a kicking animation, and then a new animation will start and they will fall to the ground and hurt themselves for no reason. That is the game being stupid and bad, and EA needs to fix that. And at number 6, I know this definitely bothers some people, especially fans that really pay attention to player statistics. The idea of losing to a mediocre player and not winning out because the other player scored a lucky goal from a rebound or a bullshit header or something like that. There's weird inconsistencies like that. If that's not a reason to throw your controller, I don't know what is. If you're stacked up against a player that you know is a lower level player and you know you can get past him and then he immediately blocks your shot almost to an unrealistic degree over and over again, that's really freaking frustrating. And you really just have no way of avoiding that or also being very well aware of that. And at number 5, this is more for the hardcore players, but it's very glaring that the player switching still isn't a very hot system. It feels different from FIFA 16, which also didn't have it quite right. It's frustrating because so many games have gotten it right in the past. So the bumpers have too much of a tendency to switch to faraway players that aren't even in the action, and then the right stick switching often makes it feel kind of impossible. It's been patched, but it still ain't quite right. One suggestion, and it's not a perfect fix for everyone, try the manual option. It's harder to manage, but it does give you more control. And at number 4, let's talk about player collisions, specifically with your own teammates. Look, I know in a way you can chalk this up to not really being a problem with the game, it's their way of simulating realism, but I'm just trying to say that sometimes it just doesn't work. I've encountered multiple times you and another friendly teammate standing next to each other, which suddenly just triggers some collision animation, and one of your players will fall down, temporarily taking them out of play for a few crucial seconds. Those few seconds that you lose from a dumb collision error could cost cost you a goal. Also, I know they're going for realism, but a slide tackle often has way too much tendency to take out your own fellow teammates. That's a bit more reasonable, but if you have something like a goalkeeper standing next to another defender and one of them falls down just because they're next to each other, that's just straight up bad collision detection. And at number 3, let's talk about the ridiculous amount of last-second blocked shots. Judging from what a lot of you guys are saying online, it just seems to the point of it being unreasonable sometimes. Yeah, you can chalk this up as a game design issue, but it's just annoying regardless of whether or not it's the game's fault. Last-second block shots and also missing chances in the last minute of the game have definitely made people rage pretty damn hard. This is the worst when you need a goal to equalize or win the game in those very few last minutes. And it just feels like an uphill battle. It feels like the game is fighting against you. Whether you're trying to score and the goalkeeper AI and is rock solid 100% blocking every single one of your shots, it's just enough to really make you scream, and I've seen so many players hate on this. And at number 2, I've seen a lot of FIFA fans that really hate it when your opponent goes like 2-1 up at the 80th minute. Then they just guard the ball at the corner until the whistle blows. You see this happen a lot with online play, and while it's technically allowed, it just feels like bullshit. Like, stop messing around, get it out of the corner, what are you doing? And it's unfortunate because this happens in real life matches too. So of course it has to be in the game because that's how it works, but it's still just so annoying to see, and it's basically out of your control. And at number 1, the thing that FIFA players hate the most is missing an open goal because of input delays. This happens a lot on FIFA Ultimate Team. The input delays in this game can be a complete bitch sometimes. You've seen probably countless times where you had the chance to make an awesome open shot, but the game didn't recognize your input of a shot and you missed out. The time it takes the game to read an input from your controller, process it, and then play it out in the game sometimes feels way less responsive than you would like. There are so many other games out there that this would be considered completely unacceptable. There have been patches that have lessened the delays and made things feel a bit tighter, but it's still not perfect. The randomness and the inconsistency in the game just does not make for very fun competitive play. I don't know, I just want to say EA Sports and FIFA, fix your shit. So guys, those are some things that FIFA 17 players definitely hate. It sounds like a lot of whining and complaining, but some of these are legitimate concerns and annoyances. Look, we rage a lot when we play FIFA. And you know, like a lot of things, it's like everything that goes against you is bullshit and the game is broken. And it's easy to say those things, but you still keep playing. And ultimately, I think that's what makes FIFA special. Because despite its problems, and despite the things that annoy players, we still all play it year after year. If you guys have any other annoyances with this game, let us know down in the comments. What drives you nuts, whether you're playing online, whether you're playing solo, or if you're playing with a friend on the couch. You guys know the deal. Clicking the like button helps us out a ton, and we really appreciate it. And subscribing if you're new is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.